Imagine a little boy standing in front of a mirror, not because he wanted to admire himself, but because he was desperately trying to make his family smile. That little boy was James Eugene Carrey, known to the world today as Jim Carrey. He was born on January 17, 1962, in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. At first glance, his childhood seemed ordinary. His father, Percy Carrey, worked as an accountant but dreamed of becoming a professional musician. His mother, Kathleen, spent much of her life struggling with poor health. Jim grew up in a loving family, but life had a way of testing them. Even as a young child, Jim noticed something different about himself. Whenever his mother felt unwell or the atmosphere at home became heavy, he would jump into action. He would make funny faces, imitate famous people, invent silly characters. Imagine a little boy's mind unconsciously trying to make his family happy and do everything he could to hear one precious sound: laughter. He didn't dream of becoming famous. He never knew. He simply wanted to make the people he loved forget their pain, even if only for a few minutes. But happiness didn't last forever. When Jim entered his teenage years, disaster struck. His father suddenly lost his job. The family's only steady income disappeared almost overnight. The bills kept coming. The savings disappeared. Every day became harder than the one before. Eventually, the Carrey family was pushed into extreme financial hardship. For a time, they even lived in a small camper van while trying to survive. Waking up each morning wondering where your next meal would come from, and watching your parents worry every single day. Imagine seeing your dreams slowly fade because survival came first. That was Jim Carrey's reality. Most teenagers spend their afternoons playing sports or hanging out with friends. Jim spent his afternoons and evenings working. After school, he and his family cleaned factories as janitors. He scrubbed dirty floors. He cleaned the washrooms. He emptied garbage bins. He worked long hours until his hands ached and his body was exhausted. Night after night, week after week, month after month. The hardest part wasn't the work. It was watching his parents carry the weight of failure on their shoulders. Jim later realized something that changed his life forever. He saw that his father had incredible talent, but chose a safe career because he believed it was the responsible thing to do. When that safe job disappeared, Jim learned a powerful lesson. You can fail at what you don't love, so you might as well take a chance on what you truly love. That lesson became the foundation of his life. Even while cleaning factories, Jim never stopped dreaming. Every spare moment became practice. He stood in front of mirrors for hours, training his facial expressions until they became unbelievably flexible. He experimented with voices. He created characters. He rehearsed jokes. He imagined standing in front of thousands of people making them laugh. Most people laughed at his dream. But Jim wasn't asking for permission. He was preparing for his future. At just 15 years old, he walked onto the stage of a local comedy club for one of his first stand-up performances. His heart raced. His hands trembled. He looked into the crowd. He told his jokes. Silence. The audience barely reacted. Some people looked bored. Others simply stared. For many people, that moment would have ended the dream. For Jim Carrey, it was only the beginning. Every failure became fuel. Every rejection became another reason to work harder. He refused to let one bad night define the rest of his life. Little did he know. No one knew those painful nights would one day become the foundation of one of Hollywood's greatest comedians. Jim Carrey refused to let failure have the final word. After that disappointing performance, he didn't tell himself, "I'm not talented enough." Instead, he asked a different question. How can I become better tomorrow than I am today? While others spent their free time relaxing, Jim spent countless hours studying legendary comedians. He watched their timing, their movements, their expressions, and their connection with the audience. Then he stood in front of a mirror for hours, practicing every smile, every voice, every exaggerated expression until they became second nature. Years passed. He performed in one small comedy club after another. Some nights, people laughed. Many nights, they didn't. Some club owners didn't invite him back. Some audiences ignored him completely. Every rejection hurt. Every no felt personal. There were moments when giving up would have been easier than trying again. But Jim had made a promise to himself. He would not let poverty steal his future. As his performances improved, people slowly began to notice the young comedian with incredible energy and unforgettable facial expressions. He earned opportunities on television and moved to Los Angeles to chase an even bigger dream, Hollywood. But Hollywood wasn't waiting with open arms. Audition after audition ended in disappointment. Producers rejected him. Directors chose someone else. Months turned into years. The dream still seemed far away. Then Jim did something that became one of the most famous stories in Hollywood. One quiet evening, he drove into the Hollywood Hills, looked out over Los Angeles, and imagined a future no one else could see. He took out a check. He wrote it to himself for $10 million for acting services rendered. He dated it several years into the future and placed it safely in his wallet. To everyone else, it was just a piece of paper. To Jim, it was a promise. A reminder that impossible dreams become possible only when someone believes in them before the world does. But life still had another painful lesson waiting. Jim's father, Percy Carey, passed away. The man who had always supported his son's dream was gone. Jim was heartbroken. He later reflected that his father had been incredibly talented, but had chosen the security of a regular job over pursuing his passion. And even that security wasn't guaranteed. That realization stayed with Jim forever. He decided he would rather risk failing at something he loved than spend his life wondering, what if? Then came the moment that changed everything. The year was 1994. A little comedy called Ace Ventura, Pet Detective was released. Many people doubted it would succeed. Instead, audiences loved Jim's fearless, energetic performance. Almost immediately, another film arrived. The Mask. The world couldn't believe what they were watching. The rise of the superstar has begun. Jim's expressions, movement, and comedy felt unlike anything Hollywood had seen before. Before audiences had time to recover, another blockbuster hit theaters. Dumb and Dumber. 3 major successes. One unforgettable year. The struggling janitor from Canada had become one of the biggest movie stars on Earth. The same people who once ignored him were now standing in line to work with him. Studios offered him record-breaking salaries. Millions of people laughed because of the boy who once struggled just to make his own family smile. The symbolic check he had carried for years suddenly became reality. He earned more than he had once dared to imagine. But Jim discovered something surprising. Money could buy comfort. It could buy beautiful homes. It could buy expensive cars. But it could not guarantee inner peace. Behind the bright lights of Hollywood, Jim continued searching for something deeper than fame. He often spoke openly about emotional struggles and periods of depression, reminding the world that success doesn't erase every battle.